Welcome back to the Deep Dive. So if you've been following the Toronto Maple Leafs at all this season, you know what the mood has been. Just this deep, simmering frustration.
Oh, yeah. Misery is probably the right word for it.
Exactly. A team that is just, stacked with generational talent, but they seemed perpetually stuck in neutral. The results were just way below their potential. It felt listless.
And that's what makes this recent shift so dramatic. I mean, we're looking at our source material here, all the analysis, the post-game reports, and it seems that in just the last few weeks, they haven't just won some games. It feels like they've actually finally turned a corner.
Well, that's our mission today, isn't it?
Yeah.
To get past the scoreboard. We need to figure out what really drove this. Was it one player, one specific moment?
Right, because the sources are pretty clear on this. This resurgence isn't really about the raw skill, which, I mean, we all knew was there. It's much more about cohesion, a new philosophy, and maybe just finding that collective will to win.
So we're diving into these transcripts that are highlighting a pretty profound shift in attitude, some key coaching changes, and even some really unexpected guys stepping up.
The big questions are, what happened inside that locker room to spark this? And for you listening, whether you're a rival fan or, just a cautious Leaf supporter, what should the rest of the NHL be worried about now?
Okay, let's start with the most obvious thing, the effort. The sources keep using words like flat to describe how they played before, and now they're saying the team is finally caring again.
And you can see it. It's palpable. The fans are certainly reacting to it.
They are. We don't even have to guess because we have that perfect anecdote from the comeback against the Winnipeg Jets. And they go down 4-1. It looks like the same old story.
Another frustrating loss on the way, yeah. But then they stormed all the way back.
And when they showed that fight, the reports say Scotiabank Arena was absolutely buzzing. But there's another layer to that comeback, isn't there? It started with something totally unexpected in net.
That's where the rally really kicked off. So Joseph Will, the starter, he goes out of the game, and the sources are clear, this was not an injury. He was just playing very poorly.
It was a performance pull.
100%. And then Dennis Hildeby comes in, a much less experienced guy, and he was, and I'm quoting here, absolutely electric.
The numbers on that were pretty wild.
They were insane. He puts up a .957 save percentage in that relief appearance. He actually saw more ice time than Wool did, and that performance, from a guy you're not expecting it from, it didn't just stop the bleeding, it lit a fire under the entire team. It was the moment that galvanized them.
But here's the thing, is effort alone sustainable? We've seen these emotional spikes before, and then they just fade. You need more than that. You need some structural changes.
And that's the essential question. The sources suggest this jolt went way beyond just emotion. It went straight into tactics driven by those coaching adjustments. This isn't just about trying harder, it's about trying smarter.
Let's get into the power play then, because that has been a massive underachievement for a team with this much skill.
Yeah.
It was ineffective under Marc Savard.
Ineffective is a polite way of putting it.
Right. But now, under the current staff, Derek Lolan and Steve Sullivan are the names mentioned, it looks a lot better.
A lot better is an understatement. The stats are crystal clear. The team is 5 for 9 on the power play since the firing, which was right before Christmas.
Wait, 5 for 9? That's an astronomical conversion rate.
It is. I mean, you're scoring on over half your chances. That kind of uptick suggests a massive shift in philosophy. Even if Savard wasn't the only problem, his firing seems to have struck a nerve. It was a tactical reboot.
So what are they actually doing differently? The reports get into that.
They do. It's a pretty specific tactical change. They're dumping the puck in less. That's the key. They're using controlled entries, carrying it over the blue line.
And for someone listening who maybe doesn't track every shift, why is that so critical on a power play?
Well, it's the difference between attacking and just scrambling.
Yeah.
When you carry the puck in, you're immediately set up. You're forcing the penalty killers to react to you. When you just dump it in, you spend the first 20 seconds of your power play just trying to win the puck back in a corner.
So you're wasting valuable time.
You're wasting time and you're letting the defense reset. This new way maximizes the time their best players spend actually shooting and passing, not just chasing. It's how you win those tight 2-1 games you were losing before.
Okay, so we've got the effort, we've got the strategy. Now we have to talk about the star who is just embodying this whole turnaround. Austin Matthews.
He has found a completely different gear. The sources are all over this. Last game, a hat trick and an assist. 4 points.
He has 8 points in his last 3 games. And what's wild is that he missed a game in that stretch because he blocked a shot.
And that block right there, that tells you everything about the new mindset. He isn't just scoring, He's showing that commitment. And, there's also the history looming.
Right. He's one goal away from tying Matt Sundin for the most all-time in Leafs history.
That kind of pressure, that context, it just amplifies how dominant he is right now.
But it's not just the big guns, is it? The sources really highlight some of the depth guys, and that's where you see the real shift in the team's DNA.
This is maybe the most important part. We have to talk about players who were, kind of overlooked or even seen as disposable not too long ago.
Who's first on that list?
The reports are just glowing about Troy Stecher. He's being called one of the best pickups in the entire league this year. His hard work is described as infectious. They say he shifted the mindset of this team.
Wow.
Yeah, and the consensus is he's secured a spot. Doesn't matter who comes back from injury. He's earned it. He brings that sandpaper they were missing.
That's the kind of guy who just raises the standard for everyone.
Absolutely. And then you have a story like Bobby McMahon's. This is a guy who was put on waivers and cleared earlier this year.
So basically, any team in the league could have had him for free.
Exactly. And now the reports are calling him one of the most important players. He's using his speed, winning battles. It's a huge sign that the coaches have figured out how to get the most out of every single guy on that roster.
It's finding value where no one else was looking.
Right. Now, we have to address something a little strange in the source material we're looking at. It mentions a few other players who have supposedly completely shifted their performance. Specifically, it names Matias Maccelli.
Wait, Maccelli.
Yeah.
From the Arizona Coyotes.
Yeah. And Scott Laughton from the Flyers, and OEL Oliver Ekman-Larsson, who's with the Panthers.
Okay, so that's a huge red flag in the source material. None of those guys are Leafs.
It is. It's a major discrepancy. But since our job is to analyze what's provided, it kind of suggests two possibilities. One, maybe the source is using them as like an external benchmark.
Like so-and-so's performance is now at the level of a Scott Laughton. Something like that.
Could be. Or maybe it's tracking rumored trade targets whose value is going up. It's odd, but it's in the reports we have to analyze. Let's focus back on the guys we know are on the ice for Toronto.
Good idea. Because the positive momentum is happening with the current roster, even with significant injuries. And that brings us to the one big concerning question mark that's still hanging over this team, William Nylander.
And the concern here isn't the injury itself. I mean, guys get hurt. It's the intentional vagueness around his status. He went from day to day to a little bit concerning.
Just because of the lack of detail from the coach.
Primarily, yeah. The information is so contradictory. We know he was in the building. We know he skated that morning, but, and this is a key detail, not with the group.
And he's tentatively expected to play Saturday.
Oh.
That word tentatively is doing a lot of work there.
It is, and if you compare it to how they've handled other injuries, it just feels weird. They were specific about Dakota Joshua's kidney issue. They gave details on Chris Tanev's groin. The silence around Nylander makes that day-to-day label feel, well, untrustworthy.
So what's the speculation? Are they hiding something from opponents, or is there something else going on?
You have to wonder. In a market like Toronto, a lack of information just breeds speculation. If he doesn't play on Saturday, the concern level is going to jump way, way higher. They need him healthy for this run to continue.
So let's bring this all together for you, the listener. The big takeaway here is that the Leafs' problem was never about talent. It was a struggle with effort and with strategic execution.